It often was said that if Fred Dunsmore picked up a game of tiddlywinks, he would be excellent at it. You were the epitome of the all-round, ideal, natural athlete, Fred, and I guess if you look back on it, there were certainly some highlights, some points along the way that were exceptional for you yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely was, and mind you, in those days it was quite common to have people playing triple sports because the seasons were short.
Yes.
And shorter anyhow, and it was much easier to, I shouldn't say excel, I don't mean that in the wrong, the wrong attitude, but yeah, I love playing sports, and I went from baseball to hockey, and for a while football too.
That's right, football at Daniel
At Daniel, yeah.
And your baseball days were exceptional. Your hockey days were also extremely rewarding, I'm sure. All right, let's talk about some of the highlights along the way. Let's talk about baseball highlights. As a player, what sticks out in your mind as being the highlight?
Well, I kind of got in pretty young. I was 14. I was passing the Rosedales with Jack and Terry Hine were running a practice at the Minto Armories there, and I stopped to watch them while they had me throw a few pitches in them back. So I never stopped, I guess.
Yeah. I
just kept on playing, and I was just fortunate to have people like Jack and Terry Hines that brought me along. And yeah, I was 14, and these others, some of them were 19 and 20, but they didn't pick on me too much. And no, I've enjoyed baseball. In fact, I think as much as I loved hockey, I think baseball was my best sport in a way. But I would have had some highlights in there. I had an opportunity to play some minor league baseball. Ken Little and I both traveled down to Philadelphia.
For the training camp?
No, just to have a look at us.
Tryout camp.
Yeah, tryout camp, and we went by train. It was really so different in those days.
Mm-hmm. They offered you a contract, didn't they, Fred?
Yes, they did. It was I never thought I'd take it because there's too many conflictions with my course I was taking in chartered accountancy, and in those days, baseball or hockey, no one got paid any lovely, the way they are being paid now.
Sure.
So I wanted to get my education and the sports with it. I think I missed your question.
Did you meet the legendary Connie Mack when you were?
As a matter of fact, we saw him, but we didn't meet him.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we were just nothing to them. It was just there was only about 4 of us working out that day.
Sure.
and it was quite a thing. And but they took us all the way down there, and then I think they had to scrape for money to get enough money for us to have dinner once or twice. It was kind of a skeleton and little operation, but they're big league people now. So.
Sure. Freddie, you were blessed with an excellent, strong right arm, which enabled you not only to play very, very well at third base, but you were a pitcher of some note along the way too.
Yes, I enjoyed pitching. I first started out as an outfielder with that. When I said I was 14, I was just chasing balls for a year, and but Jack Hines and Terry saw that I had a strong arm and suggested I play third base, which I enjoyed. But what I liked about it was that the days that I didn't play third base, I was pitching. So
sure.
I never did. I have to sit on the bench for 4 or 5 games for to follow the routine and that. So I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the people, and
sure.
Never made any money at anything, but it's the story of all of us, I guess. We all are interested in sports, and it doesn't necessarily it costs you money and doesn't do much for you, that's all. But
Freddie, the legends that we have often talked about certainly in Manitoba would include the Rosedale junior baseball team for a number of years, and then of course you also St. Boniface Native Sons. You were with two outstanding baseball teams in those two.
Yes, they were outstanding teams, and it's funny we all quit at the same time. Mm-hmm. The fellows that came up, like Ken Little, they were playing juvenile, and when I was playing junior, and then we moved over to the Native Sons, and I guess it was 8 or 9, 10 years, and I think we only lost the cup once, and then it just folded up again. Well, Terry was busy, and Jack Hines had died, and it was too bad. But I guess everybody had their fill of it when you get to be 35 or whatever.
Features of your baseball days. It was often said that Freddie, of course, could play organized ball, could play professional baseball, and you did get a chance to play a little bit with the Winnipeg Goldeyes back in those days.
Yeah. Again, Terry was manager of the Goldeyes at that time, so that didn't do me any harm, and I pitched 3 games, if I recall. I may not have, but I didn't do too badly. But it was a nice experience. But I knew if I played more than 3 games, I would lose my what do you call it? Your amateur status. Status. And I was just into my accounting course, which was 5 years. So I just wanted to keep it a sport I enjoyed playing for nothing.
Yeah.
But that's not true. We got so much out of it. Met so many fine people, like the Hines, and you probably knew both of them. Mm-hmm. They were wonderful people, and they just lived a block away from us, so sure. We did get to see them quite frequently. But I feel I've gained more than I've lost because I didn't go professional. So.
What does it mean to Fred Dunsmore to be a member of the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame?
Well, I was very proud. I was inducted the first round in Brandon, and I had a lot of dealings. This I was afraid of. As you get older, at my age, you forget names. I was trying to remember the brothers that really carried a heavy stick. Gladwin, Gladwin. Then he met with me at. Tell me if you've heard this before. He met me at the
White Horse?
No. Don't get me wrong. I was trying to remember now that the Forks, and we met several times, and he was trying to introduce me into some type of a baseball Hall of Fame. So I didn't. Firstly, I didn't think it was going to catch because it was mostly the country teams, I think, that was pushing it too. But I found out later it was quite
provincial wide.
Yeah, and I've had a few problems with it, but I felt they were expanding too fast, and they were expecting too much of the people who were wanting, like me, to get in. It was nice to become a member of the organization, but I didn't really want to spend my life doing it. So I sort of there weren't any bad feelings, or I don't think, not from my side anyhow.
Sure.
But I haven't been that close to it lately.
But you can feel a sense of pride being
sure.
a member of it.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
When you're singled out like that for your achievements and the success you've realized in the sport, it's something special.
Yeah, well, it was my favorite, I must admit. I shouldn't be talking about hockey or football here, but hockey was fun and that, but it was a little different. And but baseball, I felt, was my best sport for me anyhow of the 3. So I was quite happy, and I don't have a lot to do with them now. I guess Bruce Hudson's very involved still.
Sure.
Bruce and I went to Sunday school together way back 100 years ago. So
fond memories that you've had have been very satisfying, though, for you, I'm sure.
Oh yes, they have been. Yeah, I haven't had any bad. No, and nothing at all that ever happened that would upset me about the way it was done and the way it's being done. Except, I thought they kind of had a little I think that what bothered me was they were kind of rushing it. I hate to say it. Once I was in, I didn't want them to rush it anymore because they seemed to be getting a lot of players and a lot of teams, and it sort of watered it down a bit. But I know there's some very, very good players that are in it, and I'm proud to be a party to it, I should say.
Those are the memories of Fred Dunsmore, a member of the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame.